Let's now look for some important activities used for developing reading skills. Developing reading strategies may not involve only looking for the right level of a text or right level of students' understanding of a text, or preparing certain comprehension questions and giving them to students and asking them to perform a certain reading assignment. It may involve a lot more skills than that. A good reading activity helps students as readers throughout their pre, while, and post-reading stages. Therefore, a good reading activity may be developed around the purpose of the reading. Identifying the purpose of the reading is good in many ways. For example, it helps students to choose the right strategy to perform that purpose, and it also helps teachers or program developers to design proper activities for fulfilling that purpose. Therefore, defining the instructional goal of an activity is very important, and it also be coupled with the appropriate style or type of response teachers are expecting from their students. I will share some of the pre-reading, post-reading, and while reading tasks which I have borrowed from a British Council website. First, pre-reading task. Pre-reading tasks aim to raise students' knowledge about what they are going to read. And this can be done in many ways, which I'll share in a while. And this may help students to understand the text in advance. And this, as I said in the previous module as well, that we use such activities unconsciously in our first language reading. But we have to do it consciously in our second language. And this may be really helpful in many ways. This raising of awareness is most effectively done collaboratively. When we ask students to share their understanding or share their early thoughts about a text when they look at its title or something, this could be very helpful for all the students if they manage to share them with each other. Some of the important pre-reading activities may be tell your partners what you think about the text, or do a quiz in pairs to share your understanding of the text with each other. Look at some pictures related to the topic, or skimming the first paragraph in order to get the main idea or gist of the text. There could be certain predictions made on these pre-reading activities or pre-reading, looking at the text. And such prediction could be made, as I said earlier, could be made by looking at the title or the visuals related to the text, by knowing about the author, his life history, or his other works. This could give you a clue about what type of text you might find in your reading. Then you could skim the first paragraph to have a prediction about the text. Then you could read from the end of the text and predict about the beginning, or you could read from the middle and predict the ending and the opening as well. While reading task is based on assessing students' comprehension while they are reading a text, and this involve many activities. For example, slashed or cut up text. This is a collaborative activity in which different students or groups of students are given different pieces of a text or different text on the same topic, and they are giving a paper with questions written on it, and they are asked to answer those questions at the end. And in this way, they have to collaborate with each other while answering those questions, because not a single person or participant would be able to answer all those questions on his own, because he doesn't have the entire information, because he was given only a certain piece of information related to that text. Jigsaw reading could be another interesting activity. Running and reading. This is based on making a quick reading or reading in quick time. I'll give you a sample of this activity in the coming slide. Running and reading activity involves dividing the class into student A and student B pairs. Student A sits at one end of the classroom, then stick the text to be read on the wall at the other end of the classroom. Teacher could do that. He could stick or paste that text on another side of the classroom. Then give student A a list of the questions. Student A reads the first question to student B, who has to run down the classroom to find the answer in the text, and then run back to dictate the answer to student A, who then tells B question 2, and so on, and it goes on. And this activity, as I said earlier, is running and answering questions and doing reading at the same time. The first pair to answer all the question wins. I ask the students to swap roles halfway through so everyone gets a chance to scan. So, this is a teacher's narration about it. Usually I ask students to do it in this way. So this could be really helpful in making students read in a quick time and while developing some reasonable understanding of the text as well. Post-reading task, it's quite natural to tell people about what you have read or what you have come across, and this is based on your natural reaction. So sharing reaction about something or about a reading is quite natural. So these post-reading tasks may be based on this natural inclination. Activities in this regard could include discussions about what has been read by the students. A teacher may discuss various informations or various topics involved in a reading with the students, and students could do that among themselves as well. Summarizing text could be another activity. Reviewing text, yet another activity. Then follow-up speaking tasks. So this would integrate speaking skills as well. But this could be very helpful to the teacher in understanding the comprehension of his students. Because when they speak, he would be able to know how far they have been able to judge what they have just read. And then it could be used to look into certain linguistic features or looking at certain important key areas from the structure or diction of the language, which a teacher might aim to be learnt by his students. So this could overall be a package for learning various language and social skills in relation to reading.